Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this session, I'm going to talk about the last work of English 1, which is the second play of Unit 4th, The Proposal, say about which I'm going to talk in this session. The proposal was written by Anton Chekhov, and before the session, kindly subscribe my channel and get the further updates about the upcoming lectures. The playwright Anton Chekhov was born in the year 1860. Who belongs to Russia, a Russian writer. His story, the step was an important success. Okay, that made him very popular writer, and which gave him the Pushkin Prize in the year of 1888. Like most of the Chekhov's early works, this work showed the influence of major Russian realists of 19th century, such as Leo Tolstoy and Fyodor Dostoevsky. At the beginning of his career, Chekhov wrote plays such as Ivanov and The Wood Demon, which told stories about educated men of the upper classes coping with the debt, disease, and inevitable disappointment in life. His plays were, mixture of tragedy and comedy. That is how, he was writing. He emphasized the depths of human nature, the hidden significance of everyday events, and the fine line between comedy and tragedy. Chekhov wrote many of his greatest works from 1890s through the last few years of his life. In a short understanding of human nature, in a short stories of the period like Ward Number 6 and The Lady with the Dog, he reveals a profound understanding of human nature and the ways in which ordinary events can carry deeper meaning. Uh, from the year 1890 onwards, Chekhov collaborated with the Konstantin Stanislavski, and his works imparted a picture of a pre-revolutionary Russian society, yet timeless. He died of tuberculosis in the year of 1904 in German. Okay, Chekhov is considered as one of the major literary figures of his time. His plays are still stacked worldwide. Overall body of work influenced genres, important writers including James Joyce, Ernest Hemingway, Tennessee Williams, and Henry Miller. Now that's it about the playwright. Now let me move on to the play, which is The Proposal. In this play, we got three characters. The first one is Stephen Stepanovich Chubuko. Chubuko. We can shortly call this name Chubuko. Chubukov. Chubuko was a landowner. Natalia Stepanovna. She was, a landowner's sister. She's about 25 years old. And the next character is Ivan Vasilovich Lomov. We can shortly call Lomo, who is a neighbor of Chubuko, a large and hearty but very suspicious landowner. Okay, these three are the characters which involved in this play, and the play where took place where it happens in a drawing room in Chubuko's house. The play opens as Lomo was entering his neighbor Chubukov's house, who was in neatly dressed up attire, who was coming to Chubukov's house. Chubukov, he was in great curiosity to see him well dressed and ask him the occasion. Lomo reveals that he had come for desire. Okay, he opens his proposal. Chubuko assumes that he must have come to ask for money, which he does not want to return. Okay, so he was assuming in such a way as Chubuko. After knowing that Lomo had come to invite Chubuko's daughter, Natalia's hand in marriage, okay, Chibuko leaves to call Natalia. Lomo, that fellow was, about 35 years old, a gentleman who was suffering from palpitations and gets upset very easily. He thinks that, it's the right age for him to marry, and he's happy that, he's choosing Natalia. He believes that Natalia is average looking, but an honest caretaker. So on Natalia's arrival, Lomo initiates the conversation about the cordial terms of both families. See, when he started to speak about his land, he somehow mentions Oxen Meadows, which earlier was a disputed property, but now it's in his control. Natalia is in the perception that Oxen Meadows belong to her family. They are, both enter into heated discussion, and they act childishly. Chibuko's entry made it more heated. They shout and scream while Lomo suffers from extreme palpitation and a numb foot. They throw Lomo out of the house and continue abusing him. Chibuko and Chibuko's daughter Natalia, two of them, they thrown him out of the house while defaming him. Chibuko accidentally reveals that he had a wedding proposal for Natalia. That surprises Natalia, and she immediately regrets sending him out. She was, suffering a lot. Oh, she didn't know that that fellow who, came with that proposal. She tells her father to bring him back. Yeah, you should bring him, because she didn't know that that is when she had involved in a huge quarrel with Lomo. So she asked Chibuko, her father, to bring him back, and Chibuko bans himself for being the father of young daughter. When Lomo returns, Natalia tries to deviate the topic. She doesn't want to be on the topic. She wanted to come out from the topic. Yes. So she deviated from the topic by talking about shooting. Okay. And little later, they enter into a debate on their dogs. Natalia strongly believes that her dog, skews her better in comparison to Lomo's Gus. They continue arguing when Chubukos enters the scene, only to form things worse again. The things now, again become very worse. Everyone gets hyper, and Lomo finally falls because of palpitations. And there, even then, the cursing continues when suddenly Natalia notices that he is unconscious. So she came to know that he became unconscious. He lost his conscious. So they find him unable to drink water, and finally they declared he was dead. After a while, Lomo moves a bit. They give him some water to drink. Chabuco forcefully hands over Natalia's hands to him. So now, so they decided we shouldn't have any more debate. So what he did, he very fast, hands over Natalia's hands to him, and gives his blessing and asks them to kiss each other. After regaining his sense, after regaining his senses, he expresses his excitement and kisses Natalia's hands. Okay, he was very happy that he was permitted to marry Natalia, and Natalia who kisses his hand. Natalia again keeps convincing him and that Skeezer is better than Gus, but Lomo, being adamant, refuses to accept this, and quarreling continues. So this is how this play goes, and it proclaims the greed of rich families to marry their children into other wealthy families with the aim of enhancing their wealth. Okay, they, even though there are a lot of what is that mismatch between them, they try to have a a relationship, in order to enhance their wealth. So, however, the play, which concludes on a happy note, but the fact remains that Lomo never proposed, but Natalia accepts it happily anyway. Well, that's it about the play. Thanks for listening my lecture. subscribe my channel.